Episode 15. A Rich Lady.
Shut up. Look at you. You are not behaving like an adult. Do you not know that Mr. Bruce Stevens is upstairs? What would he think of our family if he saw you being immature?
A solemn voice rang past their ears. The person who spoke was none other than her uncle, John Winslet. Suzanne rolled her eyes at him with anger. She was furious but could not say anything. John then looked at Jade amiably and said to her in a gentle voice,
Jade, don't mind your aunt. She never knows her limit. We're just worried about you. Last night we had an important matter to talk to you about, and that's why we called. Where have you been?
Worried? Jade smirked. They eagerly wished that she would die as soon as possible, so they could legally take away all the inheritance left to her by her father. Bruce recently broke her heart, and with Suzanne and Ivana continuing to insult her mother, she felt like crying. However, she felt she must not show her weakness in front of them. She clenched her fists, fiercely dug her nails into her palms, and forced back all her tears. Although she pretended to be indifferent, she struggled to act strong. Why were you guys looking for me? Oh, yeah. Soon it will be my graduation. There are still a lot of things to do for school, so I should get going. After Jade finished speaking, she turned away and left without looking at them. When she had just stepped out of the door, Suzanne's shrill voice rang past her ears again.
Jade, what's with your attitude? You better come back immediately. Didn't you hear that we have something to ask you?
And what if I don't? In the end, Jade turned around and obediently went back into the house because Suzanne said,
Leave then. I'll withdraw your grandmother's hospitalization and treatment fees right away.
Jade bit her lips as she clenched her fists and cursed them within. These people were truly despicable. They knew her grandmother was the only family she had left in this world, yet they used her grandmother to blackmail her. Are they even human? Was Jade's grandmother not their relative too? Jade held her breath and then sighed heavily as she returned to the living room. She casually asked, "What's the urgent matter?"
Jade, take a seat first,
John said as he pointed to the sofa. It's okay. Standing here will do. If you have something to say, get straight to the point. My schedule is tight. Suzanne snorted. Her eyes were filled with ridicule and contempt. However, her tone was slightly better than before.
What else is there to talk about? It's about your marriage, of course. Your aunt cares about you too. You're graduating soon, and it's so hard to find a job nowadays. So why don't you find a rich man and get married? Then you'll be able to enjoy being wealthy for the rest of your life. Don't you think so?
Get straight to the point. Jade lowered her gaze. She felt goosebumps as an ominous premonition came to her. Suzanne smiled and continued.
You really are fortunate that a CEO of a company has taken a fancy to you. He is a well-known businessman in Washington. He has gone through divorce twice, but as long as you're willing to marry him, you'll become a rich lady.
Really? A rich lady? I wonder which CEO fancies me, Jade sneered. She knew very well that she didn't know any CEOs. Moreover, he'd been divorced twice and was much older than her. She could see this was all part of Suzanne's scheme.
I knew it. You're just like your mother. The moment you hear of becoming rich, you want to marry without hesitation.
Jade was triggered by Suzanne's words. Before Suzanne could finish speaking, Jade ruthlessly slapped her. This time, Jade was truly furious.
Aunt, please show some respect and stop insulting my mum.
For that moment, Jade even raised her voice. Normally she would not mind being bullied by them, but today her aunt and Ivana kept on talking about her mother. The worst thing was that every word they said was an insult to her mother, causing her to be unable to tolerate them.
Jade, are you not in your right mind today? How dare you talk to me like that? Do you even know how to respect your elders? Enough. Stop talking so that we don't forget about the real deal here.
John could not take it anymore, so he spoke up. His words were filled with dignity. After Suzanne heard him, she glanced at him with angry eyes and obediently shut her mouth.
Jade, your aunt is doing this for your own good. Look, this is such a rare opportunity. Think of how many girls are out there who would want to marry into a rich family, and you've got an opportunity effortlessly. In fact, this is your luck and blessing. We've already arranged everything with the CEO, and tomorrow will be the day for both of you to meet. Remember to dress up beautifully. You'll have to skip class tomorrow too. Also, Tomorrow is the day to decide on a date for the marriage, John Winslet said. After hearing John's words, Jade thought she was having an illusion. Arrange the date for marriage? With this strange older man? Were they trying to throw her under the bus? It's such a good opportunity. Why don't you bestow this opportunity to become rich on your daughter instead, since I'm afraid that I don't deserve such a blessing. So don't ever think that I will tolerate all this nonsense. Whoever wants to marry him can go ahead, but me. The disappointment flowed through her veins and deadened her mind. All she had left was her determination. Jade couldn't believe that they were trying to force her to get married in these modern times. Jade, how can you say that? We've arranged everything so well for you. What are you not satisfied with?
Seeing that Jade did not agree with the marriage, John Winslet's face turned livid and revealed its true colours. Huh? Satisfied? Do you think a 22-year-old student would be satisfied to marry an old man?
Jade, what are you talking about? What do you mean by old man? He's a well-known businessman. There are many women who want to marry him, yet he's interested in you. You have to seize this opportunity.
My apologies, my good uncle. I'm afraid I don't want to seize this opportunity. John was stunned. He looked at her in surprise, as he never expected her to be so determined. Jade tried to hold back her tears. Ever since she had lost her parents, she thought that her uncle, who was slightly better than her other relatives, would be the only one she could rely on. She could have never thought that he would try to force her to marry someone she had never seen before. Although she thought of this as her home, she'd never felt the warmth of a home in this house before.
Jade, listen with your ears wide open. All these years we have treated you well in the Winslet family, even after your mother ran away with another man and your father passed away. Think of who has provided you with food, clothes, and education. This is the time for you to repay your gratitude. Besides, we've spent so much money on your grandmother's hospitalization fees. Do you think that she could survive without us?
Suzanne spoke in an unyielding manner, not giving Jade a chance to speak. A teardrop finally rolled down Jade's cheek as her lips trembled with rage.